Hola, students of struggle. You know, one of the more rewarding parts of the journey that I've been on since I released The Gift of Struggle last June has been hearing from readers from all over the world share with me stories about how they've reframed their struggles to find the gifts, and also how they've applied the lessons that I share in the book to take more control of their leadership climb. Now, I believe a good story should give the reader something that they can take to make their story better. So it gives me a lot of fulfillment when I hear from readers and they share those experiences, because I wrote the book to give. I've also received a lot of questions during that time. But hands down, the most consistent and requested question that I continue to get is about my Bible Row. So as a refresher, I reference Bible Row at the end of chapter 7 in the flash forward. The lesson in that chapter is always be a student. And we all know that if you want to be a wise leader someday, not only do we have to rigorously apply what we learn, but we have to be very selective from who we choose to learn from. And in that part of the book, I talk about a very simple framework that I've applied over time and little things that I do to help keep my leadership skills fresh, and so that I can continually assess how I'm applying what I've learned. And I consistently get questions from readers. Bobby, who's on your Bible Row? Can you give me a recommendation? I'm going through X. Can you help me? So here's what I've decided to do. Starting on May the 12th, I'm going to put together a video series, and every 2 weeks, I'm going to share with you a book from my Bible Row. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to pick a book. And secondly, I'm going to share with you the struggle that I was having during that time of my leadership climb. And third, I'm also going to share some big questions that I was asking around that struggle. All of this with one sole intent: to give. I'm hopeful that by doing this in this manner, this helps give you a little bit more context of not only why I chose to read what I read and who I chose, but it also helps you understand that pull that I had that was weighing heavy on me. Because I know it's not easy to be a leader, and it's not easy to try to figure out who to learn from. Now, I'm also going to try to do my best to pick books and questions and struggles that are very relevant to what we're all going through today. Because there's 3 things that I believe are going to happen throughout the course of this current state that we're all in. First, there's the survive. Then there's the recovery. How's this going to change? And then there's the third part that I'm hoping what I do with this series helps address, that I think a lot of people are unintentionally overlooking. And that's a reframe. How are we going to take the things that are happening now to mine for the gift so that it helps us much further down the line, and even more so helps us make a much better intentional impact on the people that are relying on us? So stay tuned. The video is launching on the 12th. It's going to hit your inbox every other week. It's going to be a simple, palatable video, 3 minutes or less. My hope is that you get a lot out of it, helps you address a current struggle or a struggle that may be manifesting, and help you ask bigger, better questions. So thank you in advance for your participation. I look forward to continuing to hear from you. Stay strong, climb with style. We all got this. Hail the Underdogs.